Okay, so I literally just recorded a full half-hour raw video of heartfelt, emotional, salty Caps fan. I cried. There is no sound on it. So here we go again. I gotta do this again. You're kidding me. Caps win 4-3 over the Vegas Golden Knights and become the 2018 Stanley Cup champions. We are gonna go goal by goal like we always do. There is no scoring in the first period, but at 11:44 of the first period, Colin Miller goes off 2 minutes for interference, and we do have an OV post. Getting out of the first period with a scoreless game did feel in my emotions like a victory. It felt very lopsided. When I checked the numbers at the intermission, I discovered that that was perception bias. That was just me being super nervous. Because if you look at the first period numbers, they're actually pretty even. Again, I watched this game at my parents' house. My parents were leaving for Ireland the next day, and I wanted to hang out with them before they went on vacation without me, but I also needed to watch this hockey game. My mom was very excited to watch the hockey game. I think I have a buddy. In the second period, somebody opened up the tap. There are 5 goals in the second period, only 2 of which belong to the Washington Capitals, but that's okay. At 6:24 into the second period, Derek Englund shoots and misses, and the puck bounces off the glass. There's nobody backing Englund up. It's corralled by Evgeny Kuznetsov, who passes to Tom Wilson, who springs Jacob Vrana to turn on the wheels, and Brayden McNabb is like there, but just to get burned by the afterburn of Jacob Vrana's Jets. He goes top shelf on Marc-Andre Fleury and opens up the scoring in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. That's my boy. That's my son. At 9:40, Nate Schmidt. Nate Schmidt scores. Of course. You know what? You're dead to me, Nathan. Back in Game 1, I gave a little cheer when you were announced. Not anymore! You mugged Tom Wilson with your buddy and your sticks back in, I think it was Game 2. And then this. You're dead to me! You're dead to me, Schmidt! Wow, dial it back. Not 10 seconds after that goal is scored, Alexander Ovechkin draws a tripping call and scores on the power play. The Caps win the face-off on the power play, get set up in their normal power play positions. They have great puck movement from Backstrom to Carlson, Carlson back to Backstrom, Backstrom to Kuznetsov, Kuznetsov to Backstrom, and then possibly the best saucer pass in a career filled with many incredible passes. Nicholas Backstrom passes across the low slot, cross-rink to Alexander Ovechkin through Derek Englund and Cody Eakin, and Evgeny Kuznetsov is down there too, through traffic to Alexander Ovechkin to bury his 15th goal of this postseason. Caps are up 2-1. Excellent. And then at 12:56, some nonsense happens. David Perron is holding or interfering with Christian Djoos, who doesn't like it, and pushes David Perron into the net while Thomas Tatar is shooting. And the puck goes in. The Caps coaching staff decides to challenge for goalie interference, which I'm not arguing with, but that's a good goal. It's a good goal. Christian Djoos pushed him into the net. So it doesn't matter whether his skate interfered with Braden Holtby's ability to play his position, because Christian Djoos caused the situation. So that's a good goal. I'm not arguing. Then we're 2-2. At 17:46, Alexander Ovechkin goes off for tripping William Karlsson. Now, I'm not arguing with either the call or the decision that Alexander Ovechkin made to trip Wild Bill Karlsson. If he doesn't, that puck's in the back of the net. Carlson's gonna shoot, and he's got an amazing shot. He was a 40-goal scorer this past regular season. Alexander Ovechkin makes the decision to trade having his penalty kill unit out on the ice for 2 minutes with a surefire goal. And I'm not arguing with that decision. Unfortunately, the penalty kill unit does not kill this penalty. Riley Smith scores at 19:31 into the second period. And then there's some nonsense. As far as I could tell, Brooks Orpik literally just punched Bill Karlsson in the face. Just cold clocked him. That's fine. I need to talk about Brooks Orpik for a minute. Because throughout this regular season, I have been not the world's biggest fan of Brooks Orpik. I understand the appeal of having a good stay-at-home defenseman as long as he's getting minutes that are appropriate for him and getting deployments that are appropriate for him. Well, during the regular season, he wasn't, or playing a system that worked for him. In this postseason, and in fact, in the last 10 games of the regular season, the defensive system changed considerably and works much better for Brooks Orpik, and he has had an incredible postseason. Blocked shots, good positioning, great sticks, and in fact, third period scoring starts with Brooks Orpik. He keeps it in at the blue line, and listen, if you haven't watched this play focusing on Brooks Orpik in slow motion, do it. It's so cool. The puck is both on edge and bobbling, and he keeps it in almost entirely because it's on edge, so it doesn't completely cross the blue line. He keeps it in, just throws it in on net while Devontae Smith-Pelly is crashing in on net. Devontae Smith-Pelly corrals the puck in his skates, skate to stick, and then Colin Miller is hooking his stick around Devontae Smith-Pelly's skates and tripping him up while he fires past Marc-Andre Fleury to tie the game up at 3. I have said this before, I will say it again, I would charge into battle for Devontae Smith-Pelly. Do you understand me? Devontae Smith-Pelly is now a DC sports hero. He will never buy his own drink ever again in that town. You're sitting at a bar. Imagine you're sitting at the bar. A man sits down at the bar stool next to you and you look over and it's Devontae Smith-Pelly. What do? You buy the man a beer, am I right? Ties the game up 3-3 at 9:52 into the third period. I love that man. Not 5 minutes later, 12:23 into the third period. Michael Kempny just throws the puck into the zone. Lucas Spiza fails to corral it behind the net, and Andre Burakovsky swoops in to pick that one up. Feeds Brett Connolly, who is crashing in really quickly, who fires. Usually, they do that play a lot. This particular line was buzzing tonight, for one thing, but that line does that play a lot, and usually Cano buries it. Marc-Andre Fleury manages to slow it down with his pads, but it trickles through 5-hole, and Lars Eller has positioning behind Marc-Andre Fleury well enough to see it sitting on the ice underneath Marc-Andre Fleury's butt, and he just sweeps it into the wide open net. Lars Eller, ladies and gentlemen, this third period was absolutely nothing but a Marc Bergevin subtweet. What's up? Oh, I do not understand the Montreal Canadiens as an organization, but thanks for both of those. Apparently, Devontae Smith-Pelly was a culture problem in Montreal. And you know, they just wouldn't let Lars Eller play center. Just let him play center. Christ, he's so good at it. But no, instead, they both come to Washington, find a system and a situation that works for them, and now they are Stanley Cup champions. Suck it, Marc Bergevin! And after the Caps went up 4-3 at 12:23 into the third period, my father said, well, I'm just gonna say it right now, and I cut him off. I said, no, Dad, no. You do not say anything until that clock is 00:00. Do you understand me? Or else you will not be going to Ireland tomorrow because I will murder you. Okay? The clock winds down and goes away. And I'm about to have an aneurysm. I'm like, oh my God, what was there left on the clock? There was like 2 minutes left on the clock. Marc-Andre Fleury's on the bench. Oh my God, we have no timekeeping. Marc-Andre Fleury's on the bench. There's 6 attackers on. My head is going to explode. The game's over, right? Like, I think the game is over. I think the game is over, right? I'm pretty sure that the game is over, but how do we know? They finally get a stoppage in play, sort out what's going on with the clock. My God, you're kidding me. 0.6 seconds. 0.6 seconds from glory. And my dad says, well, and I say, no, listen. If the Vegas Golden Knights pull some LA Kings set play off the face-off bullshit and tie this thing up and we're going to overtime, I will do a murder, Dad. So he said, oh, okay. I think, great, thanks. We're just gonna wait for those 0.6 seconds to go away, okay? Thanks. 0.6 seconds on the clock. They drop the puck one more time. Brooks Orpik takes possession of it. And the Washington Capitals are the 2018 Stanley Cup champions. And I burst into tears. My dad said, "Can I say it?" The off-season began yesterday. Yesterday I was a little tired and emotional because I stayed up to watch coverage and drank several beers. Yes, the off-season begins. Yes, there are things to talk about in the off-season. There will be players that we don't want to see go who will depart. But maybe there will be new players that we will grow to love, like Devontae Smith-Pelly. Either way, that is not a conversation for today. Today, and certainly at least until the parade is over, let's just have some fucking fun. We will have many beers. We will cry many tears. There are many videos and many pieces of coverage out there on the internet that encompass the emotion of that moment when Alexander Ovechkin lifted the cup for the first time, when he and Nicklas Backstrom skated with it together. For me, I just want to enjoy this. Let's have fun together. I don't like to use the word deserves in the context of sports because sports are really luck plus skill plus hard work. And I don't like to say that teams deserve championships because it's not about deserving. But this fan base deserves to see Alexander Ovechkin lift the cup. This fan base deserves to have a nice time. The season that began with Alexander Ovechkin assuring us that this team was not going to be suck this year proved him right in spectacular fashion. And for me, I want to thank all of you. And this is the most fun way to engage with this hockey season that I could have possibly had. And I want to thank all of you. If you've left a comment or thumbs up a video, thank you. And we're going to have some videos in the off season, free agency, etc. But for now, I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to have a beer. I'm going to try to figure out how I'm going to get to the parade because of course it's scheduled on Tuesday, which is the worst possible day for me, and we're gonna enjoy this. This has been Kate, your Salty Caps fan, and today the salt comes from my tears of joy. I will be back with a couple in the off season, and starting next year for 2018-2019 I will be back. I'm gonna need a new fan wall because I bought so much Stanley Cup Champions gear. I spent so much money. I got signs, I got a pennant, I got a little model of the Stanley Cup that has a Caps logo on it. Yeah, that's exciting. I got t-shirts. It's a good thing that I'm going to be moving sometime in the off season or the start of 2018-2019 regular season, and I will find a bigger wall. Until then, this has been Kate, your Salty Caps fan. Thank you. The Washington Capitals are Stanley Cup champions.